That girl Henny. Y'all gotta go to her channel.
The girl Henny, do you know who she is?
She a blogger or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, where this lady come from?
Right on your ass.
She on your life, G.
Shout out to Henny over there.
Y'all know who this is? Do y'all know who these boys are? Just say yes or no if you know who they are. Just say yes or no. Okay, there's 2 yeses. There's 3. There's a whole lot of no's. Well, guess what? Y'all are going to get to know who these men are. These are the Alexander brothers. And you want to know what they did? They had ex-trafficked women for decades. Going back to high school, these men were using women, setting them up to come to parties, to grape them, drugging them and graping them. These men. 2 of these brothers, these 2 I think it was, they were in real estate together. They are the Alexander brothers. The other brother was in charge of the family security firm. One of them has more of an issue than the other 2, but the other 2 are caught up in this as well. I'm going to be digging on them. I'm going to be exposing them. I read their story. They are monsters with money. Exactly. So for all of y'all that want to sit up here and say, oh, you just want to take a black man down. Oh, no, baby. I'm exposing them. And a lot of people aren't talking about them, which is crazy to me. I'm reacting to it. LOL. I can't wait. Yes, you can react to it, Stand On It Media, because I will be rolling them out to y'all this week. Now, I know a lot of people want me to cover Luigi, but a lot of people are already going to be covering Luigi. And so because a lot of people are already going to be covering Luigi, I decided I'm going to cover them because they will be in that same federal courtroom. So tomorrow, I will begin re-rolling out the Alexander brothers. Now, I covered them 3 months ago. I talked about them in a live, and I posted a video about them, and that video only got about 500 views. But what you will not be able to do is come over here and say to me that I just want to see the black man fail. Because we're going to talk about them. Because we're going to talk about all of this stuff that's going on. Now, yes, they are in New York. So let me give you a little intro to these brothers. Between the 3 of them, they have five Miami-Dade cases between the 3 of them for actual battery and assault.
Today we are charging Oren Alexander 2 counts of sexual battery and 2 separate incidents and 1 count of sexual battery by multiple perpetrators for a separate incident. We are charging his twin brother, Alon Alexander, with 1 count of sexual battery by multiple perpetrators. We all want to thank the 3 brave women who courageously came forward and reported these 3 incidents, these crimes. Thank you for disclosing what happened to you and allowing us in law enforcement to help you hold these men accountable for what they did.
Brothers Alon and Oren Alexander, 37-year-old twin real estate moguls, face state felony charges to include sexual battery.
5. One of the brothers has 3, and the other 2 caught a Miami charge as co-conspirators to the 1 brother. These brothers were brought up on multiple counts of ex-trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, with 9 counts on their indictments. They caught a Miami-Dade federal case in Miami with the Southern District of Miami, and they caught a federal case in the Southern District of New York.
The defendants allegedly used their wealth and status to recruit and pay for the travel of their intended victims, and then manipulated them into participating in sexual acts without their consent.
The Alexander brothers worked together and with others to repeatedly and violently drug, sexually assault, and rape dozens of female victims.
Now get this, they were arrested December 11th of 2024. You ain't hear too much about them because everybody was talking about Diddy. December 11th of 2024, the Alexander brothers were arrested and taken into custody in Miami-Dade. On that same day, December 11th of 2024, Miami-Dade, Southern District of Miami, dropped their indictment, and the Southern District of New York dropped their indictment on them as well. So on that one day, they caught state and federal charges. Now, since then, a stay order was put in for them to stay and remain in New York. So the Southern District of Miami gave their cases over to the Southern District of New York, and they will now be tried in that same court building as Diddy, as Luigi. Okay, the Alexander brothers worked together and with other men to arrange events and domestic and international trips. They used as bait to recruit, entice, harbor, transport, and maintain multiple women. During the events and trips, the defendants frequently raped and allegedly assaulted the women they enticed to attend. At times, the Alexander brothers used social connections or the guise of starting a relationship to lure and entice women to meet with one or more of them at a public place or group event, or to travel to meet one or more of the defendants. On multiple occasions, the defendants, alone or together, then allegedly assaulted the women, sometimes within hours of their meeting. Immediately following the actual assault, the defendants sometimes offered the victims material items, including travel, concert tickets, and other luxury experiences. Some trips and events were organized by the Alexander brothers well in advance and involved domestic and international traveling. The Alexander brothers worked together and with others to recruit women to attend these events and trips. The defendants, at times with others, shared photographs of women to select those they found sufficiently attractive to invite. The defendants and other men organizing the trip then contacted the women, including through social media or dating applications, and induced the women to attend by, among other things, offering to purchase their flights, making other travel arrangements, and or providing accommodations without charge. They were using their real estate business. They were using dating apps. They were using their wealth and their privilege to set up and arrange dates with women with the specific intention to actually assault, batter, and rape them. Oh, we're going to talk about it, baby. That part, they were pimping and closing big deals using women. Period. So yes, this is the next case that we are getting into. And as you can see, I have been doing my homework already. Because understand this, even when I'm not online, that doesn't mean that I'm not working. And I have been reading their court docs. This was more salacious than Diddy, but no media coverage. Thank you for saying that, big state of being. Teresa, I'm going to look into that, and maybe I'll cover that on another story. So understand that when I'm coming down on Diddy, that don't mean I ain't coming down on nobody else. And we're going to dig all up in their business and get it cranking. This has a lot of disturbing moments to it, okay? And for me, another disturbing part about this is they said it goes back to their teenage years. So they're in their 30s now. So they were doing this since a teenager. So they've been getting away with it. And because they've been doing it since they were teenagers, Yes, they are currently in jail for this. They are sitting in Brooklyn's MDC right over there with Diddy. They sure are. They're sitting right up in there with Diddy. They said the same thing they said about Diddy is the same thing they said about these boys right here, these men right here. I keep calling them boys. Those are men. Okay. They got away with it when they were teenagers, so it created a level of comfortability with them. And they're preparing for a major trial, which we will be keeping up with. And if these three brothers are convicted, they're facing life in prison. Okay.